Hey everybody, I'm Pete Burak and welcome to Cathlist. Did you know that there are over 185 cathedrals and co-cathedrals in the United States of America? A co-cathedral is a cathedral that shares the function of being the bishop's seat with another cathedral. Further, did you know that between those cathedrals there are only 72 different names? I didn't, but now I do. And those are just two of the quick facts about U.S. cathedrals I'll be telling you about today, so stick around. There are going to be lots of numbers. And as a former gym teacher, it hurts my head a little bit, but we'll get through it. The most common name for cathedrals in the U.S. is Immaculate Conception. There are 18 of them, and that's nearly 10% of all cathedrals here. Sadly, this is also probably the percentage of Catholics who can correctly define Immaculate Conception, which, by the way, is the Catholic doctrine that God preserved the Virgin Mary from the stain of original sin from the moment she was conceived, not, as some are confused, when Mary conceived Jesus through the power of the Holy Spirit. I'm really glad we could clear that up. Coming in second place for having the most cathedrals named after him is Saint Joseph with 15. Don't worry though, he's used to taking second place to Mary. Rounding out the top three is Sacred Heart with 14 cathedrals to its name. Kind of poetic, isn't it? Namesakes for Jesus, Mary, and Joseph top the charts for the most common cathedral names. The only other cathedral name cracking double digits at 12 is St. Mary. It turns out that Marian names are far and away the most popular for cathedrals. A whopping 55 out of 185 cathedral names are derivatives or titles of Mary our Queen. Mary our Queen being one of 15 different titles that cathedrals have used for Our Lady. Speaking of Our Lady, which Our Lady is the most common cathedral name, you ask? Our Lady Queen of the Rosary has 3, just above Our Lady of Guadalupe and Our Lady of Perpetual Help, who both have dos. That's Spanish for 2. In an early church throwdown of St. Peter versus St. Paul, Peter wins 8-5, though there are 3 cathedrals named for both of them. The most generic name award goes to the state of New York, which houses most of the common cathedral names. With 9 total cathedrals in the state, 6 of them are Immaculate Conception, St. Joseph, Sacred Heart, and St. Mary's. They even have a St. Patrick's, which is the 6th most common cathedral name. Way to get creative, fellas. The Battle of the Johns. No, this is not a toilet joke, but still kind of funny. Which John has the most cathedrals named after him? St. John the Evangelist wins with 4, while John the Baptist has 3. Johns Birchman and Gilbert each have 1. That sounds like a law firm. Birchman and Gilbert, we're there for you. Have you been injured? Call Birchman and Gilbert. John the Evangelist is also the apostle with the most cathedrals, not counting, of course, St. Peter. Not including Mary, the mother of Jesus, the woman with the most cathedrals named after her is St. Agnes. She has 2. Other women with cathedrals are Saints Anne, Catherine of Siena, Cecilia, Helena, Mary Magdalene, and Teresa of the Child Jesus. Saints Francis of Assisi, De Sales, and Xavier each have 2 cathedrals named after them. And finally for this video, we have Guardian Angel Cathedral in, wait for it, Las Vegas. If that's not the most appropriately named cathedral city pairing, I don't know what is. The land for the church, located just off the Vegas Strip, was donated by Mo Dalitz, a Jewish man who also was known as Mr. Las Vegas, who was instrumental in shaping the Vegas we know and love. He was the gangster businessman type, yet Dalitz apparently liked the idea of a church conveniently located for his casino workers, hence the donated land. This new spot was necessary as well, since the former cathedral had been built on a dump and needed to be torn down since the land became unstable after just 6 months. Way to plan ahead, guys, and thank you, Mr. Dalitz, Mr. Las Vegas. And that's all the time we have for now, folks. Thank you for watching this episode of Cathlist. Please subscribe to this channel and check out the links in the description below. I'm Pete Burak, and we'll see you next week. Hey everybody, I'm Pete Burak, and welcome to Cathlist. Scott. Immaculate Conception.
Let's start that one over again. It is definitely going too fast. Can you hear the sirens?
Yep.
They're coming for me. I knew they'd find me.